Hey dudes, we are inside the castle walls of my Minecraft kingdom on Infinite Heights, and today we're making some bacon. It's coming up right now. Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing? Welcome to episode 15 of my Let's Build series. We are flying up an alleyway here, turning right to a new bridge and checking out the empty lot where the bacon farm is going to be. This episode I want to focus not just on the build itself, but also on the approaches to it. And by approaches I mean the way you actually physically get there. So let's get to building. Again, we're starting at that in the alleyway between the sugarcane farm and the melon farm. Just clearing out some dirt. I'm gonna have to do some remodeling of the cobble walkway that you kind of see there. So that's coming up. We'll see that again once we're doing our final walkthrough. But what I'm doing here is clearing out some space, getting rid of some junk into the chest, and I'm going to fill it in similar to how we do most of the walkways around here. We have the cobblestone stair gutter, which I'm laying in now, and we're going to do gravel. We're going to sprinkle between the gravel some cobblestone every so often, just to kind of add interest. And, you know, like the more I think about it, and the reason that I wanted to show you guys the way I decided to make the paths and connect the paths in, I saved space between these two buildings a long time ago when I first built them for this exact purpose. Now, there's a couple things that help make buildings look like they're supposed to be there, and one of them is how you pay attention to the landscaping and how you handle the landscaping. We haven't done much landscaping as of yet. I threw some bushes in the market, but other than that's about it. So that's something that's really going to help these buildings look like they've always been there. But the other thing is how you connect the pathways around them. And so there has to be a mix, in my opinion, of planned and spontaneous pathways around them. And the planned ones need to be there to kind of anchor the area down and say, okay, this looks right because it was thought out first. And then I think the spontaneous areas need to be sprinkled in a little bit later, because, you know, if we're thinking about this build area as something that has been evolving over centuries of, you know, however many years the kingdom has existed, something that's evolving over time, then, you know, we need to think about it as something that is changing and growing and slowly evolving. And so there's going to be additions added and new systems put in place slowly over time. So everything isn't going to necessarily fit perfectly as if it was entirely planned out, because new things are going to need to be built in that couldn't possibly have been planned for in advance. So, you know, I think that mix, a good solid mix of that, adds to realism. So here I'm just working on some of the supports for the bridge. It's just a raised pathway. It's not a huge deal, but it's going to connect the alley to the middle of the hill that the pork shop is going to be on. Pork shop, bacon hut, bacon palace. Oh, I love bacon. Now I'm hungry. I made myself hungry by doing this build. I'm just throwing some lighting in. I think lighting is important. I'm also mimicking. I did a Let's Build close to the beginning of the series where I just did a couple bridges. I built some bridges and I put lighting in the bridges, and the lighting was huge. Lighting is huge because if you are building this in vanilla survival, you're going to need lighting to keep the mobs away. So it's, I think, critically important to think it's critically important to have lighting encompassed within the build in a way that looks natural. And so when I built bridges, this is a similar style to what I used. Plunking some glowstone lanterns in there. And I'm just building up, mimicking how I did the other bridge in front of the carrot farm and potato farm. So that's where I'm getting these style cues from. We finished up the bridge pretty quickly. There are a little bits that I kind of glossed over where we just kind of fill in some more of the detail work for the supports, but now we are laying in the magenta hardened stained clay. It's right across from the pink, from the pink of the watermelon farm. So it's easy to, there's a subtle difference between the pink and the magenta stained clay. Subtle difference. I think the magenta looks a little bit more purplish, like leans more towards purple. But anyway, so I mean the foundation for the house is something that I did in a way that we normally do. So there wasn't too much new to see there. Instead of using slabs for this house, though, I am using stairs, which is something I haven't done in a couple builds. Just kind of throwing in the first gable of the house. And going along. Man, I was on TeamSpeak with some dudes, and we were talking. Adrian asked what I was working on, if anything, at the time, and I was like, I'm doing the frickin' roof, and I hate it. It's not that I don't like doing roofs, it's just that it's so slow to place. It's so slow to place them, to place the stairs. Still placing them. Here we have the main beams going in. And the left side of the house, or now the right side of the house, is a little bit wider than the left side of the house, which was before the right side of the house. So the roof goes up a little bit higher, but that is not a big deal. We just put a little filigree up on the top there, come up the sides like we do, throw another one on the top, run a bead of cobble slabs up there, and we are good to go. The only thing we need to do is poke some holes. Need to break up that big roof line there. So here we are down over the, I guess this is the patio or back porch, but it's not open or exposed. I'm still thinking of why I thought this looked right. Maybe it'll come to me when we're walking around and checking it out. So, but I wanted to keep this a little bit more shallow in hopes that I could preserve at least one of the windows there that are about to be closed off, and I wasn't able to do it. So, but that's all right. There are plenty of other windows around, so not a huge deal. About to close off the window. No. It's a little special touch right there, upside down stair. So we have some holes poked in the roof, and we'll throw some cobblestone dormers in. It's over there, and then I'm going to connect them up a little bit with some cobblestone stairs just to add a little bit of interest to the peaks there. Now this is, I think, maybe my favorite part of the entire build, and that is a smokehouse. So I'm thinking, it's a pig farm. They're making pork chops, right? Do you know what's delicious? Bacon. You can make bacon from pigs. I just went, my mind just immediately went to smokehouse, barbecued pork, spare ribs, the works, and I couldn't help myself. So I was like, I'm gonna make a little hut over here on the side, Not going to make it too complicated. I'm going to keep it kind of simple so that it, you know, just adds a little something extra to the area and not, you know, I'm not going to add any pink to it and make it kind of draw your eye away from the main build itself. I'm just going to, you know, just kind of make the little hut here. I'm going to match the roof up. Add one little special touch to it. So I add the slabs here for the roof. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I left that one open. Wait for it. Bloop. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I can actually make smoke coming out of the smokehouse. Now I didn't want there to be visible flame or light coming out of the smokehouse because that wouldn't be right. So I just kind of, I tooled around a little bit with how to have smoke coming out from a chimney type structure that didn't look weird, and that didn't emit light. Just going around here with a couple different thoughts, and then I was like, oh, I know what? Stairs. You can block off the light like that with stairs. Excuse me, and then we'll just throw in a half slab to finish blocking off the light. Let's still see some smoke. I'm just adding a little bit of detail because I thought it looked a little strange that the logs just kind of plugged right up into the roof like that. So we're going to go ahead and bust out some holes in the wall. I added some grates. Behind the grates, I added a couple coal blocks so that it just looked completely dark in there because, you know, inside of smokehouses or smoker boxes or whatever are just completely black with smoke and animal fat grease. Ugh, delicious. That has collected there over time. And we're just digging this out. You know how we do. We're going to do a little bit of a gravel, use a little bit of a gravel trim around here. One more. Yeah, there it goes. Throw some stairs in under the grates just to add a little bit of interest. And here it is. Look at that big pink house on the hill. Magenta, excuse me. Look at that big magenta house on the hill. It's, and it came out really, really well. I was so excited to have finished it. I'm really glad I thought of that little smokehouse. I think it looks regal, as a bacon maker should. Nice and high up on the hill. Good views of it. So why don't we take a walk around the inside? Check it out. Okay, so we have carrot farm, potato farm. We have the sugarcane farm. Here is the watermelon farm, and pig farm is over there in the magenta hardened stained clay, like you just saw me building. I want to take you through this way. Actually, it's sheep farm. Need to make a big sheep house thing up here. We'll figure that out later. So basically, we have this alleyway. I don't know if it's really an alley or a street or what, but we have this here. And then we come up to this cocoa farm right there. Make this turn, and then here's the bridge. Now, I know in this one I spent relatively much larger amount of time in this Let's Build showing you guys how I built the surrounding areas and less about how I built this. Now, I didn't do too many crazy new things when I built this that are just completely different than when I built other houses. Not that it's not important building the foundation and stuff like that, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about building up the landscape and an area around it and the approach, and how just to kind of show how that can affect how you kind of interpret the build. So let's see, which way should we go first? Let's go up. Let's take a tour of the inside. Oh, I've vanished. There we go. First floor, obviously, stairs to the second floor. And you know, actually, let's go upstairs first. So up here. I know you guys didn't see me working on the inside. I didn't show that. I cut that out. I didn't want the episode to run too long. We have here and here. So at the top of the steps, basically, you make a left or a right. And to the left could be one bedroom or a study or a reading nook or something like that. Very private, nice and cozy, right? And then the other direction maybe is the master bedroom, because it's nice and big, got decent views and such. So, you know, thinking about it. No, not really sure what I would use that for exactly, but it's a good amount of space and it's up there. So then we can go through this way. Maybe right in here is a living room area. Maybe over here is the kitchen. I don't know why. After the fact, so the pigs go in here. I hit the button. The pigs start bouncing up and down, right? There should be a half slab here. And then I feed them. I didn't put them in there because they'd be noisy. So I feed them and then they breed, and then through that little half block thick opening, the baby piggies fall down. And then when they get down here in the basement, they land down in here. This gets closed off. And then I just hit a button to crushionate them, and then they're like one-hit punch kills, or I could do like a push and a harming and quick switch to my looting sword. You know the trick. And then all the goodness falls in here. This is other crap that's just falling in there in the meantime. This obviously can't be like this. Am I gonna hop up and down here every time I want to you know, harvest some sheep? Harvest sheep. God, we're in the bacon house. We are in the bacon house. I'm about to show you some bacon. Harvest pigs. Harvest piggies. So here we are out in the back porch area. And I don't know why I didn't leave this open for a porch. I mean, the view from here is okay. But from the outside, I think I liked the way the house looked better. A little bit longer with this enclosed. But we have here in the basement some meat hanging up. Maybe we're drying some meat here to make some prosciutto, maybe. Some air drying, some salt cured prosciutto. I don't know. What do you think? Is that a little too graphic? I'll show you the rest of the basement down here. I mean to make it gross. Just some hanging meat, some delicious meats. If you're a vegetarian, I'm sorry that you don't like delicious food. I apologize for that. But let's go take a look at the outside, and I'm actually gonna fly around and make it easier for us to check it out. Standard treatments for the windows. We have the cobblestone dormers. You can see a splash of pink there, magenta actually, from the walls on the inside. Not bad. You know, we do the windows down at the bottom with stairs. They're over there in the corner. There should be some kind of garden or something back here, like there should be over for the Iron Golem farm too, the Iron Golem Priory. And then the smokehouse. The smokehouse. I was, because I was thinking like, hey, we're making pork, right? There's a pork house, so like, gotta smoke some meats, right? Gotta smoke some meat. So I threw an iron door here. It doesn't open. You can't get in there. There's a coal block in there to make it look dark. On the inside behind all these, like you saw before. And then I just have these little chimneys. And little chimneys just every so often. Little puffs of smoke. Little puffs of smoke. What do you guys think? I love the smokehouse. I didn't want to make the smokehouse pink because if you've seen a real smokehouse, they're usually pretty dirty and grimy. But I didn't want it... I don't know. I didn't want it to be too bland either, so that's why I decided to spruce it up with some spruce logs. I think the spruce logs kind of make it pop a little bit. They're just a little bit of a contrast against the dark oak. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at this for a little while and walk by it a couple times to make sure I'm okay with how those two colors of wood look next to each other, but it's not a big deal. What do you guys think? Pretty sweet, right? The last thing I wanted to show you guys, obviously I threw these in just as kind of guide rails because I felt like this was this felt like a little unsafe or shoddy kind of craftsmanship-y kind of thing, without some type of guides along the sides. And I mean, you could obviously still fall right off the side there, no big deal, but Anyway, so one thing I want to show you, and I'm going to bust in here and show you guys there and here, okay? Now, I don't know if you remember from the Cocoa Farm episode, but there's like a hidden cavern thing that goes under here. So the map this is from the old map, this chunk of land. So I can't pick them up because I'm banished. But I mean, look at this. This is all like, I didn't build this. This is generated into the land. And I mean, this goes on and on. Just goes on and on. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know what I would do with that. I guess I'll just unbanish so I can pick this up. And then we have a similar thing over here. You can see this kind of goes down. Not quite as far as the other one. The other one keeps going on and on and on, but still kind of cool. Still kind of cool to have like a little secret caverny type thing, right? I think so. I don't know if I want to imply that it's a mine or what, but I'm just gonna put these back for now until I decide where we're going with that, and throw these back over here too. So what do you guys think? How are we doing so far? Let me get my fly rocking. So I mean, the area here I think is coming together pretty well. Now I don't know what kind of house I'm going to put over here. This is going to have to be changed on the edge here because there needs to be a way to walk over to this. There's going to be another house here too, so you're going to want to be able to get to it from up here instead of having to walk over to here and like jump off the edge of the bridge or walk down here, then come around and then come up the front here. That wouldn't make much sense. So there's going to have to be a pathway from like here straight this way. So we're gonna have to figure that out, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to entail or how that's gonna look, but that's got to get worked out. It's got to be a house here. I kind of outlined earlier where the foundations for like a square house could be. So I mean, I think one fits there pretty snugly, but not too snug. So there's still some room in this area for maybe some fountains or some kind of cool landscaping stuff in there. So we'll see. That is it for this episode. I hope you dudes truly enjoyed watching. I hope you got something out of it. Maybe. If you got any more ideas for me, leave some comments below. Check out my YouTube channel for other Let's Builds, Infinite Heights contest videos, other Minecraft Let's Plays, all kinds of good stuff on there. Definitely give it a look-see. I do truly appreciate every single like, comment, view, and sub. So I do want to say thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. So as for right now, though, that is it for me, dudes. It's TheeRealDuke, and I'm out.